Alright, this is going to be a video on making a tripod mount out of an old broken case for an iPhone. In this case, you could probably, well, you can do this with any phone that has video recording. But I like to use my cell phone or my iPhone for video recording because it's better quality than the cameras I have. You know, the mics aren't good and this and that, and you don't really get to see as in detailed. So usually what I do, move this out of the way for a minute, I usually take this little stand I got with this actual case actually, and I take it, and I take my phone, and I set it like that, and I record. And you got two levels. You got this pitch and that pitch. Can't really see much of a difference. But I want to be able to use an actual tripod. That way I got more function out of my phone and better quality videos than this one that you're watching right now, which I'm using a camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an old case and basically, make a long story short, I'm going to glue a 1/4 20-inch nut on it, and a 1/4 20-inch nut is usually a tripod, which you need to mount a tripod. Alright, the things you're going to need is your case, or broken case, whatever. Some epoxy. I have this 8-minute setting Loctite epoxy. This is for metal, but it'll work for something small like this. Takes about a day to really set. It says 8 minutes, but that's not completely true at all. You need a 1/4 20 nut. Typically, if you can find something thicker than this, then you're going to want to go with that, but I don't have anything laying around that's thicker than this. And some sort of spacer. This is just another nut, not 1/4 20. This is probably 3/8 16. And use it. You're going to need a spacer to get it away from the phone, because obviously the phone goes in this area, and if you just had a nut right there, it would hit your tripod. So then we're going to mix up the epoxy and start gluing. Alright, so I've squirted a little pile of the epoxy. You're not going to need that much for this, but you need something to mix it up with. I just got this old pen. When doing the epoxy, you just got to do an even amount of the hardener and the actual epoxy itself. Get a thorough mix, because whatever's mixed is just going to be wet. So give it a good mix. Then I'm going to apply some to this case. And don't apply it, obviously, where the camera's going to be. The camera's going to be right here on mine, so I don't have to worry about it right there. Most cameras aren't going to be right there. Alright, put the spacer in. You know, use a lot of it, but the main thing you don't want, which is what I just did right there, is you don't want it in the hole or on the threads. So let's pick this out. And we got to place it right at the end of this or it won't work because of how small the nut is. Alright. So now I'm going to give this a few hours. This is what it looks like. Nothing impressive, nothing pretty looking, but it should work. So let's let this dry out. I mean, it's not going to be very strong at all. See if this works. Alright, so this is what we got so far, and works pretty good. It's not very strong, I mean, it'll hold the weight of the camera, or the phone, I mean, no problem. It's pretty secure in there. That's just my fingers moving. So that'll work. This is just temporary. If you were going to do this, and you know, to use on a normal everyday basis, I would buy a 1/4 20-inch threaded like tube. You know, it looks like a one long nut, and put that on here. That way it gives you your space away from your tripod and all that stuff, and it's a lot stronger because you got a whole strip of epoxy on there instead of just, I mean, if you look on the inside, you can see that little square, barely through this camera, but you can see this little square, and then, I mean, it's just held on by little bits of epoxy, not much surface area. So it's not that strong. But it'll work for what I'm doing. I'm not throwing this in a bag or anything. I'm just using it so I can do some better quality videos with my phone without having to have some rigged up setup like this. I mean, this will work much better with a tripod than having to stack up a bunch of boxes and record like this. Nothing fancy, not pretty. It was free though. I mean, I took a broken case that doesn't hold the phone anymore, and now I got an ability to put my phone on a tripod very easily and have it adjustable. The downside about doing it on a 3GS is there's no video editing. So I can crop it, like I can crop the ends of it, make it shorter or longer, crop the beginning, but there's no actual cut and paste kind of thing. So when I do videos like that, I have to use this camera, which isn't as clear of a picture and not as good sounding. But this, at least for my reviews, will be much better. So that's my iPhone camera tripod mount. Thanks for watching.